Live better and longer with the Fitzness Show, hosted by fitness expert, author, and TV personality Fitz Koehler. She'll tell you why diets are dumb, supplements are snake oil, and the truth about how you can earn a lean, hard, pain-free, and athletic body. Now for our favorite bossy blonde, Fitz Koehler.
Well, hi, team. I'm Fitz Koehler, your outrageously bossy and noisy fitness pro and race announcer from fitzness.com. And welcome to the Fitzness Show. Today, we are talking about running. That's right. Not only running, but marathon running and drama within running. There has been so much drama lately. Oi, I thought to myself, what is happening to our sport? But I don't know. There's so many events going on every weekend of every year in all the towns, and so sometimes things go wrong and a lot of human error. And I my motto is perfect is boring. Boy, has it not been boring in the world of marathon running. So before we get there, I want to encourage you, if you haven't done so already, click like, subscribe wherever you're listening to the Fitzness Show. And the other thing you can do is click download. And so if you click download, then all of my episodes will be available to you wherever you are, whenever you are, whether you have Wi-Fi or cell reception or not. So clicking download is a really good idea. That just gives you access to me and gives me access to you. So I don't know, even if you're out in the boonies doing weird stuff, I can get in your head and make you do better and be better, because that's what I like to do, right? Right. As well, if you haven't done so already, check out my brand new book, You Supercharge, the exact formula for fitness, weight loss, and longevity. I promise you, read the book, start to finish. I will change the way you live forever. I will make you live better and longer. And yeah, we can grow old together. Why not? Why would you not want to do that? Go to fitzness.com and order your book there, and I'll sign it for you. If you buy one for your cousin, I'll sign one for your cousin too. And then I put in the little Fitzy sticker, which is a lot of fun, and I send it out with love. Nobody gets packages like the packages that come from Fitz Koehler. So I'm done with that. Now it's time to talk about running drama. And who better to talk about running drama than with the other half of Team Noisy? That's right, the mister who got me into race announcing, which I am so grateful for. He's also my bestie. We've been working together for, I would say 100 years, but officially it's 12. So he knows all the things, and I love his opinions. He's very insightful and smart and funny. And if you just want to close your eyes and listen to his voice, that'll do just fine too, because he's got the biggest, gristliest voice in all of running. Here we go, Rudy Novotny. Hello, bestie.
Hey, Fitz Koehler, how are you?
Oh, good. Let me hear the deep voice. Let me hear the Rudy voice.
It's been a long time, girl. It's been a long time. I thought, after all the begging I've done, it's really nice of you to finally have me back on the podcast.
Oh, boy. Folks have to know that is not true.
Well, yeah, that's a little stretch, I guess. You're right. You're right. I've been a little difficult about it, but as bossy as you are, we spoke earlier this morning and you said, you're going to be on the podcast today.
That's right. Everybody knows he tried to get out of it. He was like, not today. I said, why? What are you doing? He was like, I said, listen, you're going to be on the podcast, because every time I ask him lately or over the past couple of years, he'd be like, no, I don't know. And then after we were done, he'd say, that was great. Thanks for making me get on your show. So this is all by force.
That's all true. And of course, today when I spoke with you, I said, I'm just not feeling it. But then here's what really happened. You don't even know. This is actually what happened. I was thinking about it, and I heard this little voice, and this voice said, oh, do the podcast. It's the right thing to do.
And who would that be? Tell everybody who that is.
That's little Bitsy. I love it. I love her. And yeah, she's on my desk making all kinds of noise all the time. So
Good.
Anyway, hey, thanks so much. It is really great to be back on the podcast and back yakking with you, and drama. I love drama.
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, BTS behind the scenes, you and I are constantly like texting each other and sharing videos
Yeah.
going, what in the world?
Yeah, there there's there's always, there's almost always some drama somewhere.
Right.
You and I are we're the people behind the curtain.
Uh-huh.
Look,
Yeah, we get to see a lot. And to be honest with you, all sports have, and that's why we love sports, right? It's the super
absolutely.
highs, the super lows, the the like right now with March Madness, how many missed calls have sent arenas exploding and people at home throwing crap
Right,
at their TVs, and we
right.
we love it. But I don't know if I love this stuff.
Well, I appreciate and I like the way you started the podcast with, you know, we're not nobody's asking for perfection.
Right.
Anytime humans are involved, we're gonna there's gonna be issues, there's gonna be problems, there's gonna be mistakes. I make them. I believe you've made 1 or 2.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah. Yeah. I really don't, obviously we're not major stone throwers. So this isn't to trash
Right.
anybody, but I
Yeah.
I think it's worth discussing this stuff, right?
Yeah, I think, I mean, it's been in social media and been hashed out forever. There are some updates, even some actually pretty fresh updates
Yep.
on what we're going to be discussing. But yeah, it's just fun, and I remind your wonderful listeners that a lot of what you're going to hear today is my opinion, is Fitz's opinion. We're not looking to bash anybody, but we do have opinions. Everybody's got one. So,
Mhm. Oh my gosh. Well, it's like when we're at a finish line and someone comes through, we say, this is the champion. And we think the champion finished at 108.42, but then we always clarify, folks, nothing we say is official. Don't ever use the announcer's
really,
message as the word of God and go argue with the race director and say, well, the announcer said, because
right,
we're
right,
doing our best with the information we're given at the time.
right. Technically, we are race officials, but nothing that comes out of
Yeah.
these lips
Yeah.
is official. So,
Yeah.
good point.
Yeah.
Good
Hey, you
point.
know what?
Yeah.
It's all
What?
officially fun. It's all
Yep.
officially
Yep. Yep.
motivating. It's all officially important. But yeah, as far as the results go, don't ever put
Depend
money
on
on what the
us.
announcer says. Yeah. Yeah. Although we're pretty awesome. We're pretty awesome. Okay. So I
So
want to
true.
start with the US Women's Half Marathon Championship in Atlanta. So I'm going to go through the nuts and bolts and then we'll get into it. So this race took place, was it early March? It was early March, right?
Yeah, yeah, and I just want to just kind
March
of
1st. March 1st.
little correction. It's actually the USATF
AT.
Half Marathon Championships.
Right. But yes. Okay. So
That's important. That's
it
important.
is. It is because they're responsible for the whole thing. So that day, those ladies went out for a run, and the first three, which were ahead by a significant measure, were taken off course. It's Jessica McLean, Emma Grace Hurley, who I know, and Edna Kurgat, who I also know. I've worked with them at the Women's 6K Championship in Canton, Ohio. So great
Well,
girls, speedy. And so they're taken off course. And at some point, Jessica figures out, oh, I'm going the wrong way. She turns around, but she's about half a mile off course at that point. So she gets back on course. I think she finishes ninth. They come across the finish line. All three of them are, what the F? We were in the lead. What happened with this course? And originally, what they were given was a too bad, so sad. Yes, the course, you were let off course by the lead vehicle, but we're not going to do anything about it. There's only 3 spots going to, it's Copenhagen, Denmark for the Worlds. And so it is what it is. Too bad, so sad. And not only did they lose their opportunity to go to the World Championships, but they lost major prize money. There is, I think, $20,000 for number 1. And I don't know what the amounts were for second and third. But I think we all saw it and thought, no effing way. Those girls got highbrow screwed. So, we see runners get off course, and it happens a lot. I mean, I think a lot is a fair adjective to use, right? It happens fairly frequently.
It happens enough, I mean, I don't know, arguably what the term frequent means, but we hear it every year. We hear it
That's
every
right.
year.
Yeah, I've seen it more. I see it probably more than once a year, right? So
Right.
many of our races, there's no prize money involved and there's no future opportunity lost. That's a point where you apologize profusely to the lead runners and you give them free registrations for a couple years and maybe you make them you make them an extra plaque, but they're not really losing this much. Jessica, Emma, and Edna were super screwed out of real income, which that's what they live off of. And then future opportunity to go have adventure and, pride and travel and money. So the running world was pissed off. And so it was Atlanta. What do they call it? Atlanta
Atlanta
Road
Track
Club?
Club?
Thank you. I don't know. But they were like, yeah, it was our fault. And USATF said, too bad, so sad. So let's go back to March 1st. How did you feel on that day?
Well, and of course, as you said, it was Jessica, Edna, and Emma, and who ended up coming in 1, 2, and 3 were some very fine runners. They were
Yes.
out there. They were well behind, but running very strong. Molly Bourne, Carrie Elwood, and Annie Rottenfeld, and they were given the first, second, and third place. Oh, what a mess! What a just an incredible, unfortunate sequence of events. And yeah, they did file. I can't remember if it was. Yeah, they filed a protest. USATF reviewed the protest and upheld the standings
The
as
result.
they were. They upheld the results as they were originally, and that would be that Molly, Carrie, and Annie were going 1, 2, 3. That's it.
Yeah. And so Molly at that point, she was all like, I don't even really feel like the championship. I mean, imagine winning something knowing your competition wasn't given a fair shake. I thought that was just really sweet of her. And I'm going to go a little further, from my experience with that USATF Women's 6K Championship. One of the things I love most, I'd get to spend time with these women the day before. We do interviews and fun stuff. And then we'd all ride over on these little vans together, me and them. And it was like a big slumber party. I mean, they're competitive athletes, but they're so kind to each other and sweet. I'm sure there's a mean girl amongst them here and there, but they don't want to see their friends screwed over by a mistake, right?
Very, very true. And this was a great example, if you followed closely, of exactly what you're saying. The girls were so kind to each other through the whole thing.
Mhm.
Molly, Carrie, and Annie, I think, all independently said, I, you know, I don't, I'm not going. You heard that, and Jessica, Emma, and Edna, they were bummed. They were rightly bummed, but there was no vitriol to it. There was no, it was
Okay.
just honest competition. It was a terrible sequence of events and errors. And,
Mhm.
and they were like, and everybody's trying to make the best of it. Just as you, I was really impressed by their attitudes. Real
Yeah,
pros.
yeah, absolutely. So here comes resolution. So it's a couple days later, I think it was Atlanta Track Club said, "Hey, we're going to compensate Jessica with the $20,000 she would have earned for first place, and then we're going to combine the prizes for second and third, and then split them between Emma Grace and Edna." And so I thought right away, I was like, "Okay, well that's some decent resolution because seriously, losing your income not cool." And then a few days later, the why came out. And so apparently there was a police officer, I believe was he shot? There was a
No,
police
no,
officer.
no,
No, no.
no. A
Okay,
police officer was hit by a motorcycle officer
that's
was
right.
hit by a vehicle 300 feet off the course
Hmm.
at the exact spot where the misdirection took place.
Okay, so then the officer protecting that intersection, he
Left.
went to go take care of the officer down. I mean, clearly that gets major precedence over any sort of running event. And then the medical vehicles had to come through. So the barriers were moved. And so the lead vehicle, he obviously was confused based off of this chaos, and then took them the wrong way. Now, some people have said, like, they should know the course. Gosh, and there is some ownership, some obligation there. But the course, I think, had over 30 turns, or about 30-ish turns. They're running a different course every freaking weekend. And there's got to be some sort of respect for the lead vehicle. Why do we even have a lead vehicle if we can't trust they're going to take us the right way?
Right. Well, okay. That's a really important statement, because it tends to be the first statement of the event directors,
Right.
okay, who are really hardworking people. We work
Right.
for them. And
Of course.
major events, there are so many moving parts, so we do have empathy for them.
Of
And
course.
so there's two factors here. There's the vehicle should know the course, and there's the athletes. When you sign your registration, it's in there that you are responsible for knowing the course. I got it.
Right. Also, they do a course tour usually. So I've been a part of that, where they take the elites and they say, okay, we're going to go in the van or the bus. And if you have any questions, you can ask, but this is what it looks like. But that's not an out and back course. It's not even out, turn left. This is a very wiggly course. I don't know. And you're running at 5.18 miles per hour no. I'm sorry. 5-minute miles. And
Right.
Whose human error counts less? Is it the lead vehicle's human error or the runner's human error?
Okay, now the lead vehicle driver was interviewed and admits they took that turn, but they followed a police vehicle thinking that the course had been rerouted. Okay, I understand.
Yeah,
I totally get that. Maybe they didn't know. So that's understandable. But don't put it on the runners who are following what's been provided to them to take them out on the course and keep them on course.
Okay, so let's go right here. If we don't trust the lead vehicles, if the lead vehicles they don't matter, right? They don't matter. Right. Runner, you should ignore the lead vehicles. Right. Why have a lead vehicle? Why are we doing that? Is it just, it's one thing if they say this is a press truck. We have guys with cameras in the front. Don't follow them. They don't know where the F they're going. They're willy-nilly. They're going to be out and about. But when we say this is the rabbit to chase, isn't there some sort of obligation that rabbit is going to know the route?
I agree. I believe so. Now, let's talk about how you and I, when we've been racing and we're following that lead vehicle.
Okay, yeah, and that's what. Hey, you've been closer to the lead vehicle than I ever have.
One time, actually 2 times. One time, I was with a group of pretty fast guys. It was a 5K or a 10K, and we were taken off course by the lead vehicle.
Oh, is that right?
We were.
If you've ever been led astray.
It's like, hey, this thing could have gone 20 miles and we would have just kept on.
That's right. Kept going. Who can think while you're running like that? Who can think?
But, so there's this like catch-22 to the whole situation. You're required to know the course and understand the course. You sign off on that. It's on the contract. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
However, it also, in my opinion, is incumbent on any race that provides a lead vehicle, lead cyclist, anything, that they're on track. And right, like you said, it's like, so Jessica, Emma, and Edna, what are they supposed to say? Oh no, this isn't right. They're going that way, but I'm going this way.
Right. And clearly they weren't in the tight vicinity of those 3 women, because they didn't even see the wrong turn. It was repaired by the time they got there. Yeah. So, in hindsight, the second you hear a police officer has been injured, you go, okay, nothing else matters. Everybody had to run that direction. I was actually quite relieved to see that was the cause of the chaos. Because then you go, okay, Atlanta Track Club, we love you, we get it. That's just, I mean, who could predict such things? And so I think they get a big golden pass on that one, because that was some completely unpredictable, not within their abilities to change, or nor should anything have been changed when it comes to the officer protecting that intersection. If there's an officer down, you go. That's it. Goodbye, race.
Right.
Duties here are solved. Don't you think?
Yeah, I agree. Unfortunately for the Atlanta Track Club, they've had issues before. They've had a number of issues and big races, and you're held to a higher standard. If you're going to host a championship or a marathon trials for an Olympic team or any team, you're held to a higher standard, and perfection is expected.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. Last year it was the Publix Atlanta Marathon. I can't remember what the drama was, but in 2024, I believe, or 25, there was some drama there. Do you know what it was? You remember?
You know what? I got to be honest. I don't recall. I believe I'm almost positive it was a course issue, course marking issue. Okay. I'm sorry. I don't have more information.
That's okay.
So I shouldn't get
it. There are some courses that are famous for screwing up their course year after year. There's one in Northern California.
Yeah, there is.
I'm not going to throw them under the bus right now, but they are infamous for really effing that thing up.
I think we're thinking about the same one. It was year 1, year 2, year 4, and it's like, oh man.
I know. Also, what a blessing to be a casual runner like me. So everybody listening know that Rudy was a highly competitive athlete. He's run 2 sub-3-hour marathons. He's a guy who has placed in races. I am not. I was good at or better at other sports. When it comes to running, I don't think I've no, that's a lie. I got second in my age group once. But other than that, I'm a very proud middle of the packer, and none of this stuff ever affects me because I'm too slow to be even seeing a lead vehicle. So yeah. Remember that time though? Second place for me in my age group?
I do remember that. It was a very hilly course, a very famous course.
It's a mountain. Is Catalina, isn't that a mountain?
It's all mountains. That's all it is.
Okay. So it's not a hill, it was a mountain. Go on.
and there I was minding my own business at the award ceremony and going through the age groups and going, okay, we're in the women's, I believe it's
like 30 or whatever.
35 to 39. And it's like, okay. And I always go from third place. So third place is Nanny Jones, and second hey, does anybody check this?
And I'm over there and I'm in the crowd, like jumping up and down. I knew it. I was doing the Chariots of Fire run up to the stage. Everyone was like, why is this chick so excited to have won second place in a 5K?
You're silver medalist, the one and only, my favorite gator, Fitz Koehler. And I think it took her 4 minutes to do the 20-yard stroll.
That's right. Everybody was and everybody lifted me up on their shoulders, and then
exactly. And then I just threw the papers away and said, "That's it."
I said, goodbye. That's right. And then, folks, we the very next day announced the San Diego Half Marathon together, and so he was stuck with me. We had to go meet with our race director that night. We had to drive to San Diego. And we had to take a ferry and then drive to San Diego and then have dinner with the race director. And then all the next day, I was like, by the way, did you hear that I won this silver medal? It was terrible.
Sports Illustrated covering everything.
That's right. ESPN was hot on that. Okay, so we're totally off track like the lead vehicles.
Okay,
but so this is what I love. I'm the lead vehicle screwing things up right now. And we will be right back. My brand new book, You Supercharge, the exact formula for fitness, weight loss, and longevity, is out right now and has something for everybody. Ladies, chapter Full Throttle Femininity is dedicated to all the things you think you can't control, including menopause, weight loss, maintaining muscle mass, building bone density, and earning yourself a JJ of steel. Guys, chapter Man Mode was written just for you. You'll learn how to combat menopause, tune up your ticker, banish a beer belly for good, maximize your muscles, and earn the most powerful pecker on the planet. From the ground on up, from the inside and out, let's supercharge your body and mind and make you unstoppable. Order signed copies of You Supercharged at fitzness.com in the United States, Amazon, everywhere else. We're back. So I love this. It just came out, news, and I'm glad we waited for the podcast to do it now, because USATF has done the right thing, and they are inviting Jessica McLean, Emma Grace Hurley, and Edna Kurgat. Not only did they get paid, but now they are also able to go to Worlds for the half marathon in Copenhagen, Denmark. So they will have their opportunity. The USA will only be able to accept points for 4 of our athletes, the first 4, but I feel very happy for them, very relieved. I felt like it was personal against me when they were getting screwed. Don't you think?
Well, yeah, and that is good news. I think that wasn't that just breaking today?
Today, I think, yeah. Yeah, I could be wrong, but I think it's today.
And actually, they're sending 7. So I think
that's
there's an alternate. There's an alternate. So it's the 6 girls we've been discussing and an alternate, which is absolutely fantastic. Again, as you said, Copenhagen, and that's the World Road Championships. So, it's a bit, it's a great ending to, what was originally a very sad story. And I guess all's well that ends well.
Yeah, I think so. I hope so. And, I just really, I think we are like-minded, where we're obsessed with the back of the pack, right? We're obsessed. But I mean, maybe you prefer the front half. I really love the scrappy folks, the strugglers who you're surprised get there. But I so respect the time and effort and sacrifice that goes into the training preparation and ability to win these events. And it should be rewarded without, I just, you don't like to see a ref be the reason a football team lost or a basketball team lost. And certainly this isn't a good enough reason for Edna and Emma and Jessica to stay home.
Totally true. And, so but again, a real good ending. I'll flat out admit I was a little harsh on USATF, the governing body. They're responsible, and and I know rules are there for a reason, but there are also situations that I believe are due review and perhaps exception, and they did it. So congratulations, USATF, and I'm happy you did that, and thank you.
I agree. I think maybe they dug further because there was outcry. Like, people were pissed. This was shared and shared. I don't know if they got a bunch of nasty grams on their socials or phone calls or whatever, but the society at large was not going to settle that these ladies were being screwed. I wonder if that impacted their decisions.
I don't doubt for a second they were under really significant pressure. No doubt. And I just got, as a side note, a battery warning on my phone. But
go plug it in. That's okay. I'm pausing. Go ahead. Plug it in.
You're pausing? Okay.
Go fine. Okay. Everybody, I'm actually not going to delete this from the podcast. I could, but I want you to know this is what we're dealing with. Rudy Novotny not plugged in.
Right. That's me. Hold on just a moment, please.
Although I've been known on occasion not to plug in my laptops.
All right. Now, there I'm back.
Oh, boy.
How come I can't? Oh, there we go. Okay. Well, K-Wait.
Everybody, This is what it is. It's Mr. K-Wait. K-Wait.
K-Wait.
Okay.
All right.
We're good?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, we're good. Okay, on to the next race. So I think it's full disclosure. We're going to talk about the Los Angeles Marathon. You and I were both announcers for that race for a long time. How many years did you announce LA?
17.
Okay, I think I was there for maybe 7 or so. So
we about that.
Yeah, we enjoyed our time at LA most of our time. So I'm going to go through the drama there and then we can discuss. So this year, Kenyan Michael Kimani Kamau was in the lead coming into the final 400 meters of the Los Angeles Marathon. If you're not a running pro and you don't know exactly, marathon is 26.2 miles. We were just discussing a half marathon, which was 13.1, but this is 26.2 miles, which is a long way to go and a lot of effort. And so this Kenyan was out in front. And he had a motorcycle in front of him, a lead vehicle, that's the motorcycle, taking him towards the finish line. Now, it is customary for these lead vehicles not to drive underneath the finish line, which means they have to exit the course. But they traditionally exit the course where our lead athlete has eyes on the finish line. So they turn off at one point. That's standard, customary, and all of our elite athletes know this is the case. But this is where this situation gets a little tricky. So Michael Kimani Kamau, he's running towards the finish line. He's got at least a few second lead on second place, which is an American man, Nathan Martin. And right before or as the motorcycle is about to exit the course, a spectator or two runs out onto the course. It's a Kenyan woman or someone who loves Kenya. She has a Kenyan flag and she gets on the course with her flag and gets in front of Kamau. And so she actually gets in his way. He stutter steps, goes around her. And then because of that confusion, as you can imagine, this crazy woman blocking your way with a flag, he follows the motorcycle as the motorcycle's leaving the course, only maybe takes 5 steps in that direction, and then realizes, I should be on the other side of the barricade, has to backtrack, and then runs towards the finish line. As he's going towards the finish line, the American, Nathan Martin, kicks it into high gear, and he wins. He beats Kamau by 1/100th of a second. And so, Rudy, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, closest finish on the Los Angeles Marathon ever, and maybe at least in my experience, and people might Google and find out I'm wrong. I think it might be the closest marathon finish ever. Period. I don't know that anyone has ever.
Think about Dick Beardsley and Alberto Salazar. Weren't they hand in hand? Yeah, I mean, there's been some, but anyways, go on.
But yeah, that issue costs. There's been some, there's been a lot of talk. I had it at 5 or 6 seconds. Tony Revas, the sportscaster in the TV group, that's what he had it as. 5 or 6 seconds was that differential. So he, as you said, he goes off course. He's following not just the lead vehicles. It's actually a caravan of a number of vehicles, including the press truck.
The media
press trucks out there, the media's out there, and the lead motorcycle. So you laid it out perfectly as I saw it, and that this woman and another woman go onto the course. This gentleman, he's gassed. He's running sub 5 minutes on a very warm day.
Right.
He's running out of juice. It's everything he can do to get to the finish. Martin is gaining on him. He's gaining on him, but that's 6 seconds. That's 5, 6 seconds. It's just math. 5, 6 seconds. And you're legally, you can depart a course if you need to for any reason.
Right.
But you have to re-enter that course where you departed it. And that's exactly what he did. He saw what he did. He came back, went back onto the course, and the rest we already talked about.
So this, I mean, we are exasperated by stuff like this. So yes, he was exhausted, but Martin wouldn't have been able to make up the 5 second lead. He wouldn't have been able to do that.
No.
And so the beef I have with this is lack of finish line security. I think, it's impossible to shut down a course that's 26.2 miles. I don't know if it's possible, maybe if you're doing loops, but for that long, it's probably impossible to have 26.2 miles of barricades. But I think once you're getting into that last quarter mile, especially in a biggie, especially one of these big deal, big city events that has this, international panache. What's the word? Panache. Now I'm making up words now. Panache. They got some panache out there. There should be barricades, and then those barricades should be enforced. And so poor Mr. Kamau got screwed out of a heavy duty prize purse that Los Angeles gives. They give out some real money, and that's some real pride and some real prowess to be the marathon champion. But we have seen so many spectators get into the course on a finish line, where specifically in Los Angeles, but then everywhere else. And they are such a danger to our athletes. And it's not only the first athlete, but the last athlete. When you have all these people coming in on marathon finisher legs, they are exhausted. They are shaky. Even the strong ones, even the ones that are super fit, they have about burnt themselves out, and someone brings their kid out into the course or their grandpa. And those people never run a straight line. They tend to be all willy-nilly all over the place. They've got backpacks or dropping stuff. We have personally witnessed athletes being crashed into by family members or spectators who don't belong. And as a safety measure, it sickens me to see finish lines not protected, because we love these athletes so much. And I think it's our responsibility to protect them from outside forces. Am I wrong?
No, we're one mind there. And
Yeah.
and I'm going to be a little less kind.
Okay.
Los Angeles knows better. They
Yeah.
know better. There's history. There's lots of history. And this was people. I've received response to some of my posts where someone said, "Oh no, this was a mile out." No, this was 300 yards, 300 meters ish. Okay, no, I did not go measure it, but
Right.
it's there.
Media says about 400.
Right, 300, 400 yards, and that time you can't make up that time. And
No.
so I agree. You and I, we're trying to be practical about it. No, you're not going to cordon off 26.2 miles of spectators, okay? And
Right.
you want you want that energy.
Yes.
We want those
Yes.
spectators. They're
Yes.
going crazy.
Yeah.
And someone argued that, well, even if there was something there, sometimes they'll go around it, they'll jump over it. Yeah, that could happen too. Sure. But if there's nothing there, if there's
Right.
no restraints, then there's
Right.
nothing to. And again, how about how about a race where we saw a woman pushing a baby stroller
Yeah.
be prohibited from continuing with that baby stroller, and she left the stroller and the baby
Yep.
before the event.
Yeah. Yeah. So I have solutions to this stuff that I think are very important. Now, of course, we asked for these solutions when we were at Los Angeles. Folks, I wanted people to know I loved every year I was there. I loved our start lines. They were the most fun, the most
Boom.
energetic. We delivered not only the impeccably professional service there, but the most joy, the most energy. And Brian McCourt, the owner of the foundation, he would always say, "This is the best, the most exciting thing we ever have." And when we were replaced, Brian was sad and said, "This wasn't my call. I wish it were different." But the finish line, we were constantly requesting for help with security. The finish line was infringed upon probably hundreds of times each marathon morning, and it was scary. And our last year there, not only and mind you, so people could hurdle the gates or put kids over, but if you have security, they should also, once people start saying, "Oh, security won't let the babies through, they'll put the babies back," people will stop. They'll stop trying. Right? So there's an obligation, I think, to send out emails, do social posts, just say, "Remember, finish line's a secure area. No families, no friends, no spectators. If you come through with a spectator, we will disqualify you." That's good. You could have big signage up that says, "Hey, no spectators, only registered runners in the finish line. If you have security, which LA does, you could teach them how to protect the finish line and be proactive. And so that reduces it. But yeah, our last year there, as far as protection goes, we had one of the spectators come onto the announcer stage and attack you and punch you in the head.
Yep, that's what happened. I mean, I'm not going to go through the whole story, but that person had easy access and used it, walked up a one story set of stairs, and demand that I introduce him, the crowd
And
to
give them the
him, or him to the
microphone,
crowd.
right?
Right. So
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
no, that's not going to happen. Anyway, yeah, that was about the worst part of it for me.
Right. I think that's
And
why you/we are not there because you got punched. And that was
yeah,
a security red
well,
flag.
an obvious red flag for the complete and total lack of professional security at the event.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. But I'm glad you pressed charges. LAPD
yeah,
finally came. We called them via the
yep,
microphone many times and finally they
yep,
came. But going back to the race, right, is that security is a safety is important for every runner. But then again, and mind you, I don't know if well, I have never at the finish line seen an American finish first. I've never. It's always been one of our elite African runners from Kenya or Nigeria or whatever. Ethiopia. They're the best of the best. They beat us every time. So I think it's wonderfully exciting to see an American come and win. But I look at this and I feel more than a little uncomfortable that this Kenyan Michael Kimani Kamau did not take home the championship because the course was not secured.
and there was so much excitement about Nathan Martin. As you said, a U.S. runner and a teacher, and
Teacher,
a heck of a nice guy, a really
yes.
very accomplished athlete running the race of his life. And, I feel bad for him because essentially it's a first place finish with an
With an
asterisk.
asterisk.
Yeah.
Yeah, not to his fault at all. And
Right.
not to his.
Right. Right. He fought brilliantly. I Just to be clear, I would do anything for a first place finish anywhere with an asterisk. But my, but
That's
my
right.
asterisk means not really.
No, that's right. First place in our hearts, right? First place in the noisy announcer division. Yeah, I mean, it's just, it's the type of thing that shouldn't have happened. I'm hooray, an American won, but not like that. Not like that. And
Yeah.
I do know that I do have race directors listening to this show, and I do know that they know we love the runners so desperately, and I respect all their efforts. But this is so meaningful when we see like, oh my gosh, how did his name just fall out of my head? God dang it! In the Miami race director,
Oh, I'm sorry.
just had it in my head. Gosh. Anyways, the race director for the Miami Marathon is the best. He is so passionate about runner safety. And this is the thing, guys. It's runner safety. That's the headline here. That's the thing that gets me riled up. That's the thing that gets
Right.
Rudy riled up. Ru- uh, good. Freddie. Is it Freddie? Freddie. Anyways, that race director, he shuts down his finish line. And so it is Fort freaking Knox. There is a place at a certain point of the barricades where he basically has bodyguards. And if you want to cross a certain space in his finish line, you better have a bid. And if you don't, or it's not the right one, they know when you've made a fake, they say sorry, off you go. And so many of those people, those bib bandits, those race thieves, whatever we want to call them, because they are stealing. They're stealing resources, water, snacks, protection on the course, all medical attention. They steal a lot from these races and these causes. But Frankie, it's Frankie. Frankie, I'm getting there. I'm getting closer. It's driving me crazy. Anyways, his bouncers, his finish line bodyguards, they tell people, but most people know that they're going to get busted. So the thieves, they exit there. And it's all
Right.
on FaceTime live. He live streams it every Miami Marathon, and it's actually good fun to sit there and watch them taking people off the course. I just respect him so much because Again, it's a safety measure, and nobody runs a race with the thought that they might be knocked over by some lady's 6-year-old or her grandpa or anybody or someone waving a flag who doesn't belong on the course. It's just Frankie. Dang it. Don't want to talk, Rudy. I'm going to look him up.
Okay. Well, and to be fair here, and I think we've already laid this out, LA Marathon is not the only event that
No.
we've had these issues with. So, and some races do, some races do a much better job, and but yeah, we're passionate about it, and it's because we care. We've been told, and we've heard, you're the race announcers. Just worry about what's coming out of your microphone. But we have to be there at the finish line, seeing this happen, seeing people fall and trip, seeing people impeded. And, they might not be the winners, but maybe they're running a damn personal record or something like that and being, impeded or having time costs from that. So anyway, we're passionate about it. That'll never change. Sorry, not sorry.
Right. And it's Frankie Ruiz. I feel so much better. Frankie Ruiz, I love you. I've spoken to him on the phone before. He and Mark Knudsen and I had a great combo many years ago, but I love him and I admire him. And it's something everybody can improve on. And by all means, I don't dislike the LA Marathon. I had a wonderful experience there. I'd announce it again. I feel very strongly about that event. I just, this is Exhibit A in a certain way. Like your Exhibit A, you getting punched, this guy losing his championship. Can you imagine how many mornings he woke up early, how many times he didn't go out to a party with his wife, how many times he just missed out so he could train to be prepared to win that thing. And then, much like the women in Atlanta who were thrown off course through no fault of his own, he gets hijacked, right? So I would like everybody to be a little more cognizant of safety and just protecting us. I say us because we are runners. I don't want to be assaulted or bumped into, even accidentally, on a course by someone who doesn't believe there. So any measure we as a running professional organization can take to do better by the runners as far as safety goes, we should.
Right. And of course, as far as the participants go, we love having you out there. Excuse me, the spectators. Spectators go. We love having you out there. The race would not, absolutely not, any race would not be the same without your energy, your cowbells, your noisemakers, the kids that you're bringing, everything. But no one should be on the course unless they're a registered runner, period.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah. And if you are a runner, don't grab your baby and take him over the fence and run him in. It's just awful. And here's the thing, dads, you get that baby, you put him on your shoulder, you start running towards the finish line, you trip, you fall, you crack your head, baby cracks their head or breaks their arm. Guess what? You're likely to sue the organization. Guess what? The organization suffers, their insurance goes up, or they go out of business, their sponsors get sued. It's bad for everybody involved. So, we all just play by the rules. And just play by the rules. We wouldn't throw a little kid in the middle of an NFL football game and be like, run around out there, see how it goes. How about it?
Let little Johnny go. Let's see how many yards he can get.
Yeah, and then the referees and the owners, Bill Belichick or whatever, is like, what up? Jerry Jones doesn't care that there's kids running around on the field. It just makes no sense.
There's a new winner of the Dallas Cowboys, and it's little 10-year-old Johnny Smith.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so as far as resolution goes, Michael Kamani's come out. His loss went uncontested, and so LA changed nothing. Kamal was second place. Nathan Martin gets credit for first place. And too bad, so sad for the Kenyan. And I also do think it's ironic that he was screwed over by women waving the Kenyan flags. I hope those women feel like absolute shit. I hope for the rest of their life they regret their moronic, idiotic behavior that almost got him hurt and definitely got him hurt in the wallet and in the professional category, because being LA Marathon champion is a very big deal. And those ladies stole that from him. So I hope they they suffer greatly internally as they cope with the harm they've done.
But of course, that would take personal responsibility and accepting responsibility for your
Oh my
actions. And we're in California. So
Yeah, that's right. Sorry. Not sorry. Yeah, they don't care. Maybe they don't care. I hate to think that maybe they don't care, but Jesus Christ. Stop
okay,
it.
and before you start throwing the hate, of course, I'm in San Diego, California. I can
I
say
know.
those things
Hey, you
about
hated on
California.
yourself. You hated on yourself. You
I
just
did.
did it.
I did. I did. I
I'm
did.
agreeing with you.
You are.
Are you looking for the perfect gift for a loved one battling cancer? The Cancer Comeback Series by Fitz Koehler offers hope, inspiration, and practical guidance. With Your Healthy Cancer Comeback, My Noisy Cancer Comeback, and The Healthy Cancer Comeback Journal. These books are a lifeline for all patients and survivors. Right now, you can order autographed copies at a special discount. Show your support and help a loved one go from sick to strong. Visit fitzness.com today. That's FITZNESS.com. Fitzness.com.
Okay. All right. Next bit of drama. Let's go all the way across the world. Are you ready for this? Buckle up, Mr. Novotny.
I'm ready.
Right. We've got a very long flight to take to, I'm probably not going to say any of this right, to Chongqing Wanzhou Marathon in China, where the leading runner, Shang Zuli, was mistakenly stopped by, this is great. Yeah. He's running towards a finish line. Apparently, it's kind of a rainy or a damp day. He's almost at the finish line. They have the tape out. He has got his arms up in the air, and a course official comes and says, no, 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 don't do this. And he's like, what the hell? And then he goes, oh, okay, you can go through. No, I'm sorry. He has to go back, run 10 yards back, and then retrace his steps running through the finish line. The course official said that his glasses were blurry from the rain, and he thought that this runner was wearing a half marathon bib and didn't want to let him run through the tape because he thought it was not a full marathoner. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, yeah. Again, hey, we're people, we make mistakes, but as we know, personally, because we see so many of them, the finish line area was broken up. It was delineated between half marathon and marathon. And as Fitz just laid out, this course official comes out and he's just, he's got him right. This guy is, this guy's doing, I think he's doing like about 5 minutes, maybe a little faster.
Flying.
He's flying. He's got everything. He's in the celebratory mode. Everything's up, and this guy says stop. And then finally, when he realizes he'd made an error, he lets him essentially walk in. It was just a short bit. Now, here's one of the big, and it was raining. It was very wet. And yes, that was where the blame went on to rain in the glasses. However, the bibs for the marathoners were white. The bibs for the half marathoners were orange and red.
Ooh, so, that's not even close. That's not even close.
That's a big deal. And I know,
he's doing windshield wipers on his glasses.
Right, exactly. So, so there was that. And then, as you said, what happened, he finished. And then when it was all said and done, they brought him back for the
photo moment. Yeah.
Put the tape out, put the hands up. And actually, when it all goes through, he was very, very, very graceful.
Yeah.
He actually injured himself.
That's right. Slamming on the brakes so hard. Didn't he pull his hammy or something like that?
Yeah. It was something you'd know because they only gave me the medical. It was a tibialis. Right. It was a tibialis injury. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So,
okay. So this is my thoughts. Go on.
But wait, there's news on this. There's breaking news. The breaking news, which I'm sorry, maybe I shouldn't laugh, but I get a kick out of it. The official has been handed a 1-year ban.
Right, he'll be back next year. Because it's 1 year between marathons.
I didn't even think about that. So it's kind of a neener.
Yeah. Look at you, like Tina Hauser. You're pulling that neener out. I like it.
Well, and I don't know, this person's name isn't out there probably for his own personal safety, but if he officials other events, he cannot, but certainly he'll probably be watching, looking at his watch. Okay, I'm good. Next year.
I'm ready.
Ready.
So this is my thoughts. So it's a full and a half marathon. Traditionally, these things go off at the same time. I'm not absolutely sure if that's the fact, but usually we get a half marathon finisher, and then an hour or so later, we get a full marathon finisher. We know the difference between what they look like. A 2-hour half marathon runner looks very different than a marathon champion. And mind you, there's a couple of people that'll fool you, right? Maybe that lean body, blah, blah, blah. But the people that are coming in at 2 hours, we will have a finish line with hundreds of people in it. And then, ideally, the course is separated half and half, one side of the road for the marathon, one side for the half. That doesn't always happen. Sometimes we're seeing the person weave. But the marathon champion compared to the half marathon finishers is flying. They're at a different speed. They're in a different gear altogether. And I don't know how he saw a man running in at that pace and confused him for a half marathoner.
Well, good point made by you about the starting time. So I don't know what that was here.
Right.
Clearly, I think it's fair to say that the half marathon must have started substantially later than the marathon, because I think his winning time, and I should know it, but I don't, was
2:23:53.
Okay, thank you. So normally, even a 6:52 pace would be a half marathon of 1:29. So they must have started much later. It's kind of again, good point. And the look is definitely a thing. And both you and I have been screwed by the look.
Right.
Me more than you.
Yes, you have. I don't think I've ever done anything catastrophic based on looking at someone, but I have asked a timer, I'll talk to that person, do a little investigation over there. Sometimes you see someone come through and you just think, I don't know how in the world that person ran a 1:08 half marathon. Doesn't seem feasible. And quite often the timer goes to talk to that person. The person says, yeah, I had to cut it short. My ankle was killing me. And they say, okay, we're removing your time. You can take your medal and go home. But, there's times where we investigate. You've gone a little extra on an occasion, right, Rudy?
Yeah, I have gone a little extra. And you know what? Credit to the timers, because we funnel information to them, but they also do an amazing job on their own. And I know they've got, and of course there are course points in many races where, you can find that somebody missed a mat and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But they use the look also.
Yeah. I would say that 99.9 of our athletes show up with good intentions. They just want to do their best and get some exercise and have some athletic adventure. And there's some strange stuff that comes in. And I always just think, why? What's the gain? I don't know. I just get so confused. Why would you be a cheater in a sport like this?
Okay, well, wait a minute. There's breaking news on that. Can I segue off? Because it's on subject?
Let's do it.
And I'm sorry, I don't have, I should have the race. I didn't plan I didn't plan for this right now. I think it was this last weekend. A female in a half marathon in full sweats, in dark full sweats, ran and finished in 57:29.
Whoa! Is that a world record time in her dark
it
sweats?
sure is. by
Wow.
by 2 minutes. By 2 minutes of the world
Whoa.
record. And she and her family and friends are insisting. The race official said, no, 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 no. And she's got, I think she has, I think she's got some Adidas All Stars on or something. But honestly, black, full sweats, and says,
Crazy.
"Oh, I ran the whole thing. I ran the whole thing." To this day, is on the press on the whole.
My
Okay.
Lord. Well, yeah, that's
Yeah.
it's exhausting. Really, it's exhausting. I mean, I just feel like we're all exercising and we're trying to challenge our bodies and our mind
Yeah.
and make some friends and have some adventure and some travel. And then there's just like, why you got to do that? All those stories of the people running Boston or New York and they take the subway to the next. Just
Right.
don't do it. Just don't. Like, nobody cares. Honestly, I mean, I've gotten some nice kudos for running the Boston Marathon, but really, nobody cared. It didn't affect their life. If I would have not finished, okay, nobody cares. If I finish first, nobody cares. It's just such a weird thing to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, just cheater.
Some things are just.
No, that does make me encourage folks to go look at Marathon Investigations. Derek Murphy, is he still active or is he? Of course it was.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mitch.
Of course. Look at I think it's marathoninvestigations.com, but if not, he has a Facebook page, Derek Murphy. He has busted so many cheaters and he's a statistician. And so he just, people will say something like the story you just mentioned, and Derek will be like, all right, let me look at her at the time she crossed the mats. Are there photos of her on the course that reflect the proper time? Can we get her Strava? There's all of this information he gathers. He's a real impressive investigator. He's a real running detective, that guy. And it's entertaining at worst, or it's entertaining. And then so many people, it's the comment section you go for, the dog pile. And
That's right. That's right.
It's very funny.
He did his stuff is great. I've got nothing but kudos for Derek. And it's, as you said, sometimes the comments are even better than the story. And there was quite a few years back where the fiance of a famous.
Was it Joe Burrow?
I'm sorry?
No, it was Johnny Manziel, Texas quarterback. Yeah, and she was like an influencer with her sexy outfits, right?
And she claimed to have run some outrageous, I think it was a 10K, and the time was the time was absurd. It wasn't a world record. No world record.
Right.
And
mind you, she was taking photos out on the course, posing in between her super speedy race. There
was. And she posted all those, and a race announcer got so pissed off. A race announcer got so pissed off that he went to his bank and got a $10,000 cashier's check and said, "Girl, all I want you to do, I want to give this to you. I want to give this to you for any charity you want. Any charity. I'd love to give this to you. And all I want you to do is, I don't recall all the detail, but the split time for what she claims to have run, I believe, was about 6:07 or something like that.
Just run 1 mile in 6:07. That's right.
Just one. And you have to do it publicly, and we're going to record it, and we're going to have an official there and all that.
Timer.
Yeah, never heard back from her.
No.
I was bummed.
Way to put your money where your mouth is.
That my cashier check was right where my.
Okay, listen. If we can make the same deal, I will run 1 mile in 12 minutes or less. Breaking news here: 12 minutes or less. I will do 1 mile for a $10,000 check to my charity, or for me.
All right, now we only. Now we only need one thing. We need
What's that?
somebody with that $10,000 cashier's
That's
check.
you. I'm giving you an
No,
opportunity.
no, because I know you well enough and you're talented enough that
Yeah.
you're gonna
Yeah, I
do
can
it.
do it. I can do it in 12 minutes for sure.
Not
Probably.
only and not only that, folks, she'll run minutes faster than that with no training, no specific training, because this
Thank
girl
you.
trains all the time, but no specific training. And yeah, and the other thing is, lastly, she will never, ever let me live that down. So I'll hear
Right.
about it. I'll hear about it every
Ah,
day.
I love bragging to you. I do love rubbing things in your adorable face. Okay.
How you do?
I
Okay.
do, but your face is adorable and it's fun to rub stuff in. Oh, that. Okay, so do you feel like we've conquered the drama?
Well, yeah, like what's next? We kind of covered it
I know.
all. And, through all the drama, you know, hopefully, it's like mistakes are made. What matters is what you do about it. Okay.
Yes.
And that you do something and about in all these situations. I'm not pointing at anyone. I'm just saying make changes so that things like this don't happen. It's all
Yes.
about the participant experience and the safety of all involved. That's what we get on. Are you still on your soapbox? I'm on mine.
Yeah. Yeah, it's important stuff. I feel like there was a really good resolution with the USATF Women's Half Marathon. I feel, I mean, I don't think they care what I feel, but I feel like that was
Well, they don't
really
care.
solved
They don't
really
care.
well. The thing in China, thank God there was no second place right on top of
Right.
Mr. Shang. So, he feels happy. What did he say? He did not blame the official, acknowledging the difficulty of the rainy conditions, but urged better, more standardized training for race staff to ensure participant safety and respect. So,
Perfect.
yeah,
Perfect.
safety and respect. And, I've heard nothing but wonderful things out of Atlanta Track Club. I think the world of them. I do love all the time I had at Los Angeles Marathon, but it's the thing is when you know better, you do better. And so,
Right.
man, this is a great opportunity to tighten up, be Fort Knox, go meet with Frankie Ruiz, hire Frankie Ruiz, bring him to your race and say,
Yeah.
let's have a Zoom meeting with him. Let's say, how do you do it so well? And let me be more like you because this is important. And it's probably to a fault, but we love those runners. And man, we do, part of our our issue is we love them so much because we are them. We have nothing but insane, intense, mad respect for every single person that lines up at the start line. And then the other thing is we have this bird's eye view. We see things first. We are first there. And, it's turned into, I get caught a lot the photos of me holding hands running through the finish line with people. But sometimes being out there have been people to come down finish line shoot on bicycles, which, oh my gosh, can you imagine being hit from behind by a guy on a bicycle? That should never happen. And so I've been known to go physically stop those bike cyclists because I'm willing to get bruised in exchange for protecting one of the athletes behind me. It's just, those are things that you and I are willing to do just because we love them so much. And just, if we could be a part of the support and the ideas behind keeping our course safe, we would love to be, or we just hope everybody else puts their thinking cap on and does absolutely everything they can when it comes to safety.
Indeed.
Yeah.
I got nothing to add there. That's what it's all about.
Yeah. Okay. So, Mr. Novotny, we don't get as many together as we used to, but the first weekend of May, you and I will be together in Orange County announcing the OC Marathon, and I cannot wait.
The sold out, sold out Orange
Right.
County Half Marathon. I think the 5K as we speak at this minute, whatever the clock says,
Yeah.
is still open. But the half marathon and the marathon completely sold out. I had somebody friend me on Facebook.
Uh-huh.
Didn't know
Yep.
whether they're a runner. Okay, sure. And then it was, Rudy, what can you do for me?
Yep. Yep.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Real nice guy. Really nice guy. And
Might have been the same one I got.
could be. And he says, I'm on the wait list. But my number on the wait list for the half, it was the half he was looking for,
Okay.
is 969. That was the number on the wait list.
That's incredible. Well, folks, that's because it's got to be top 3 running events in the entire
It's phenomenal.
country.
It is phenomenal. Yeah, Gary Kuchar and a staff, and actually a very small staff of a few.
Oh, yeah.
Thousands of wonderful volunteers and some really great people just put on a party.
The best.
Yeah.
So wonderful. And for anyone out there listening who thinks, I'll register for the 5K last week. No, you won't. Do it immediately or you will not get in. The full, the half is sold out. The 5K is so much fun. It's on Saturday night. We got a great band and Rudy and I are there. It's wonderful. But it's that 5K thing where people think, oh, I'll just register last minute. You won't. So get in or just come spectate or come see Rudy and I for big hugs. I can't wait to see you. I love working with you. It's been a long time.
Same here. And as we wrap this, this is so hard to say. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for asking me to be on the podcast. I had a great time. Your podcasts are phenomenal. I know at this point, where are you? What's the number you're at?
Close to 400 now. Close to 400.
Wow. And truly, most podcasts are gone by about how many?
5. Most fail by 5.
Your podcasts are so entertaining. There's so much great information. They're such fun. Thank you for what you do. And thanks for having this guy, this one. And truly, I can't wait to see you in May.
Okay.
Time flies, but not fast enough.
Well, thank you for that kindness. And in June, spring somewhere around June 13th, I was hoping maybe you could come back so we could celebrate your 40th anniversary of being sober.
We'll see what that brings. God willing, I make it to 40, and that's really exciting. But we never celebrate that before it's time. So thank you for the mention, and we'll do something. We'll get a piece of cheesecake, and I'll eat it on air.
Yeah, we'll have lots of fun. I'm so proud of you. You're so disciplined, and one of my heroes. Okay, folks. So Rudy is pretty much exclusively on Facebook. So if you want to follow him, you got to go Rudy Novotny on Facebook. And then I, of course, Fitzness everywhere. Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, whatever. Oh, quickie. A communication tip, Rudy. Give a communication tip.
Oh, man, you're going to do this to me?
Man, yeah.
Okay. You know what? It's maybe not a valid communication tip per se, but in your communications, be kind, and just, even if you're just jazzed up about something, for the positive, for the negative, just be kind. I don't think we have enough kindness in the world today. So just do your best to be kind.
I like that. Okay. And then music. Song of the show. What song? People, I'm going to say they could be like you and Peloton or bike ride. So what kind of music should they listen to while they're on the bike?
You know what? I know I told you this. I recently saw a rather dated concert, AC/DC concert.
Yeah.
And it just blew my mind. Just I've liked AC/DC for a long time. I'm ashamed, as someone who has been to hundreds and hundreds of concerts, I never went to see them. What a moron. But AC/DC, shoot the thrill, whatever. That just driving. Man, I want to take that into the finish line someday, but that means I'll have to do a race. That's a whole other subject. We don't have enough time for that one. AC/DC, more AC/DC in the morning, in the noon, and at night before you go to bed.
I love it. You're the best, Mr. Novotny. Will you tell everybody what they need to do right now?
Get to work.
Get to work, everybody. We love you. Bye.
Bye.
Hi, this is Rudy Novotny, the voice of America's marathons. We all love how much running has benefited every aspect of our lives, so much so that most of us only wish we'd started sooner. Wouldn't it be wonderful to gift the opportunity to children of today? Well, you can. The Morning Mile is a before-school walking and running program that gives children a chance to start each day in an active way while enjoying fun, music, and friends. That's every child, every day. It's also supported by a wonderful system of rewards, which keeps students highly motivated and frequently congratulated. Created by our favorite fitness expert, Fitz Koehler, Morning Milers across the country have run over 2 million miles and are having greater success with academics, behavior, and sports because of it. The Morning Mile is free to the child, free to the school, and is inexpensively funded by businesses or generous individuals. Help more kids get moving in the morning by visiting morningmile.com. Champion the program at your favorite school or find out more about sponsorship opportunities. That's morningmile.com. Long may you run.